What's up, sis? This your girl, Coach NaQuandra at the Purpose Place, and I am.
And taking us to Sunday school and vacation Bible school, I would be amen to this day.
It's fancy, ain't it?
It is fancy.
What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Coach NaQuandra at the Purpose Place, and welcome to the Women Alike podcast, where we get into the realness of what it's like to walk and live as a daughter in Christ. And so today is another special day because I have my good sis Allyson in the room, and tonight we're going to be talking about our season of being single, and I'm excited to get into this because a lot of women, well, first of all, my experience, I feel like the pool of saved men is pretty dry. Like, I feel like it's scarce out here. So I think this conversation is going to be good in that it encourages women who are in their single season as well, and helps them decide what to do and what not to do, and just to give some relatable experience. So Allyson, go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okay, sure. So my name is Allyson. I'm 29. I've been single for about a year now. I'm the eldest of 4. I have a 3-year-old, and I also have a women's ministry called She Who Leads. So that's it.
Yeah, She Who Leads in the building. And y'all could be checking for us doing stuff together all the time. Yes. But yes, like Allyson, I'm 28. I'm finna be 29 in January. But I've been single for almost 2 years and celibate for almost 2 years. Hallelujah. Praises be unto God. But yeah. So similar things we got going on, and we just gonna talk tonight about it. I'm excited to hear. So Allyson, let's start with you. Tell us you told us you're single, but why are you single right now in this season?
So I was in a relationship, a very, very long relationship for 8 years. I was ready to get married, settle down. I have a 3-year-old, and the person that I was with for 8 years, that's who we share a child. He just wasn't ready, so I decided to leave. That was the biggest problem that we had. Of course, there were other little small things, but the biggest problem was he wasn't ready to be married, and I kind of just got tired of waiting around, so I just decided to keep it pushing.
Right. And I see you've been talking about since we've been friends, about men and their, like, I guess, like the timeline of them deciding whether or not they want to get married. Talk about that a little bit with your perception or perspective on that.
So I thought that it takes everyone maybe like 3, 4, 5 years to know if they want to marry somebody, but from my recent like dating experience and just talking and getting to know men, and then talking to my dad and the men in my life, literally all of them said within the first like 6 months they know if they want to be with that person forever or not. They said for some, of course everybody is not the same, some men is different, maybe it takes like a little longer, like maybe a year or so, but it's never more than a year and a half. Right. I was like, oh, that's crazy. So yeah, 6 months to a year.
It is very wild to know that, and that's coming out straight from the mouth of men, and then you're in relationships with these boys who are just playing games, like just stringing you along, knowing that they already know this is not going to be forever. And like, I was in a relationship with this guy in college, and it was more like a situationship. We were both doing dirty things to each other, just doing each other dirty. But even still, I would ask him, like, he never, like, he didn't want to commit. I was like, you want to be together? You want to be my boyfriend or what? And he would never say he wanted to or not, but he would always come around. He would always show up. He would always want me to be with him, and so on and so forth. But he would never like make that commitment. And that went on for like my whole college career, and I don't even know why I even entertained it for that long. But even still,
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, because if you allow it, they're gonna let it happen. They're gonna roll with it. If you're not putting your foot down, they definitely gonna roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a whole hot mess. But even them making that small commitment of saying,
Mhm.
okay, you're my girlfriend, it's
Mhm.
like, dude, you've been new. So why are you stringing me along in this? It's
Yeah.
wild. And for me, I'm single. Well, been single for almost 2 years now, but we broke up because we just weren't on the same page. He wanna, smoke, drink, do all the hood NIGGA stuff. and and
Not in our
I'm I'm transitioning out of that life, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't gonna work. I told him, I was like, I want to be celibate now, and da 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 da. And at first he was like, no, I'm not going for that. So I was like, all right, we just gonna break up. And then after we broke up, he came back. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. Da da da. I was like, nah, that's dead, bruh. That's dead, because you're not finna experiment with me. Like, my mind is made up, so you're not finna say, well, I couldn't do it, so I went to this girl. No. So that's why we broke up, and I have remained single because I have been focused on getting to know me all over again, getting to know who God has called for me to be. And now I've picked up all of these different things that I'm doing, like being a life coach and having a podcast and doing different things, serving people. I really have found that I don't really have time to entertain anyone. But nevertheless, if somebody come my way, if I meet my husband in the grocery store, it's gonna be on and popping.
You take a trip to Publix.
Yes, okay, because that's where I be at,
Okay.
Publix, and sometimes Walmart. But yeah, that's
Stay out of Walmart.
you said stay out of Walmart.
Go to Target.
Target be too expensive for me, and then I get in Target and I be just picking up stuff. It's I don't know who's in there, what's going on, but like I just be doing too much in Target, and so I
Mhm.
gotta stay out of that place.
Oh,
Um, but yeah. So single dating apps. Talk about that. The pros and cons, experience, good, bad, indifferent.
child. So I personally would recommend dating apps. You gotta know what you want, you gotta know why you on there, and you have to be stern. Pros, you can, well, I use Hinge. You can filter out what you want. So how tall you want them to be, how old you want them to be, where you want them to live, if they're a Christian or not a Christian. Like, you can tailor it to exactly what you want.
Right.
The cons, you'll get people saying that they're Christians, or that they're living a certain lifestyle and they're not. So I was, I guess, texting a guy on there, and he said that he was a Christian, but then one day he randomly sent me a message and was like, what if your best friend sent you a video of themselves masturbating and all that? Like, I was just like, what? Block immediately, unmatched. Like, what are you even talking about right now? He was like, oh, it's my best friend is a guy.
What?
Yeah, you got to go. No. So yeah, it's, you got to be real careful in there. But I personally, I liked it. Once you get through like the fillers and start getting to know like real people, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think what you said, like doing it with purpose, like
Yeah,
knowing why you're on there,
on there.
is very key. Like, and then with dating in general, when you're dating, you need to be dating with intention and dating with purpose. Like, we're not just out here slanging things around. Um, yeah, so that's good. That's good. I agree. If you use it, definitely use it with purpose. With
Yeah.
purpose. But my experience, I just don't have time. I just didn't have time to be swiping, and looking at this one and this one and reading this profile and doing this. Because, I mean, even though I make time to swipe and scroll on social media, just the dating thing, I don't know. I just couldn't get jiggy with it. And like you, all the men on there, they say they're Christian, but display a whole nother thing. And let's talk about the men who say, why I just feel like there is really just a shortage, or all the men who are actually saved are in a certain area code or something, because I have yet to come across one who is literally doing what they say,
Yeah.
they do, you know, serving God as they are expected to. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
It's like, bruh,
Yeah, that is
where,
hard. That is very hard.
yeah,
One of the things that I don't know if you remember, but I recommended was don't swipe on anybody. Let them come to you, because that's what I did.
mm-hmm.
I didn't. I mean, sometimes here and there I would scroll and swipe, but most of the times I would just let all my likes pile up, and then I would just go through my likes and see who I want to talk to and who I don't want to talk to. Because it's
Yeah,
coming from not dating for 8 years and then like hopping into the dating pool again, it gets very overwhelming. Um, so I deleted the app multiple times because I was just so overwhelmed and I just wanted to like just block out everybody. So then I just started doing that method of letting them come to me, and then I would just pick and choose what I wanted to do.
yeah.
So
That's a good method. Very good. I think that's helpful. But yeah, they have it's pros and cons. Like, and also it just depends on like the type of woman you are. Like, you gonna go on the app, or do you go out and you make yourself available? Besides going to the grocery store, you know, hang out with your girlfriends, go out, be cute, and don't just be going out with your bonnet on, looking wild. Do something with yourself.
that's me.
You said that's you.
I will go and Target real quick with a bonnet on. Real quick. That's me.
No.
I
No,
just
I
go
can't.
to the Fox or something and then just leave out.
I used to do that when I was in a relationship. Like, was not when I was in a relationship, I would go out looking any kind of way. And it just, I don't know. I just did. When I got single, I was like, I probably don't need to do this anymore. I look a mess. That's funny. So while we're single, what should we be doing as saved women? How should we be carrying ourselves? What should we be focused on, as far as like the dating scene and just building ourselves up as women in general?
Um, so for me, what I did was I really dug deep into my word, and I rekindled friendships with you and some other Christian women. Um, I just needed that kind of community. I was trying to figure out who I was. So in that relationship, I became a mom, and then I kind of like lost myself. So when I came out, I'm like, I need to find out exactly who I am, who God called me to be, and what I need to be doing in this season of my life. So I got my word. I got with you. We built our accountability group and we shared it with other women. I just think that during this time we should be focused on ourselves and building that connection with God, because that's the most important thing. If you're not happy with yourself, trying to find somebody else, they're not going to make you happy, and it's just going to ruin the whole thing. So
Yes. That's key. That's the same thing I was going to say. It's focusing on you. Like, you have to know who you are and who you aren't. Like, especially
yeah,
when we talked about on the dating app, you looking for people, but you don't even know who you are.
yeah,
Like, you don't even know what triggers you. You don't know what you want from a man, what you don't want from a man. And that leads us to be in a compromising relationship, which I do want to talk about us, you know, how
mm-hmm.
we sometimes we get with men in hopes that we can turn them into a believer or help them find God. But we do that not knowing ourselves. So we do that looking at the potential of a man, but not looking at who he
Yeah,
actually is.
we waste a lot of time doing that.
Yes, that, yes, same. It's me
It's a
trying to
lot of
build a
time.
man.
Yeah,
That's crazy. But I agree. Yes, we need to be solidifying us and connecting with women who are like minded.
yeah,
Because getting out of the world and going into living godly, living as God's daughter, it's lonely, because you can't do what you see everybody doing on social media. It's no more I'm going out to the club and smoking a drink with my friends. It's no more I'm going to this smoke session. It's no more I'm at the late night with this boo and this boo and this boo. It's I'm reading my word. Is I'm learning who God wants me to be, and
mm-hmm.
that causes us to disconnect from the world, and then we also get a new perception of the world, you
Yeah,
know. So we're more watchful of what's going on around us, not just what we
mm-hmm.
can see, but also in the spirit. And it's just a whole nother world. And so it's good for us to be connected with like-minded women so we can have that person to talk to instead of going back to that man or that situationship. One thing Sharonda, she told me when me and so and so had just broke up, she was like, girl, anytime you feel like you need to go to that man, you need to go pick up your nephews and hang out with them, because you need to stay busy and stay focused and out of that man's face. Because when I tell you I was compromising, I was compromising. Like, I started back smoking, I started drinking again, having sex, just doing wild stuff. Like, even I'll be telling too much of my business, but even going back into having sex with women, like, it just opened up a door for me to just do whatever. That's why I do not drink. That's why I do not smoke Black and Miles. I don't do any of that, because I know me, that will open up the door for me, and now I'm gonna be out and just, well, you know. So I have to keep myself I have to keep myself on a tight leash, if that makes sense, because I cannot afford to go back there. Period.
That makes sense.
That's
good. Knowing your triggers.
Yeah, girl.
That's a part of the journey, knowing your triggers. Me, if it got anything to do with sex in the movie, turn it off.
That part.
Movies, TV shows, any of that, turn it off.
Yes. Yeah. That part.
My goal is to not have sex again until I'm married, which has been going really well. But I just know my triggers, and if something come up on that screen, I'm gonna be itching and scratching like a crackhead.
Very much so. Very much so. You and I, like, that is wild though. Like, it's so real. It's so real. I can't watch stuff like that either. I remember having that dream where I kind of like had an out of body experience, and I left out my room and I turned back in my room and I saw me and my ex having sex. I was like, oh my.
I remember when you told me
that shook me. Like, that shook me. That was so scary. I said, oh no, we cannot do this. This will never happen again. So yeah, definitely know who you are in this season. Focus on getting to know you and building a strong community around you. And as we're talking about friends, I do think we need to reiterate or put a stamp on that everybody is not your friend. Like, get to know people for who they are in their character and test their spirit. Don't just be, getting close up to everybody just because y'all like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't your friend.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't make friends, but everybody is not your friend.
And trust your gut. Sometimes it may feel like, you might be doing too much, or, you might be paranoid. 9 times out of 10, you're correct. That's the reason why you have intuition, discernment. Trust your discernment.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then when you do find that good friend, don't self-sabotage. Like, me and Allyson talk about that all the time, because I don't know, I feel like we're used to having to second guess everything somebody says and does for us. And so when you find that person or that group or whatever, that man, it's like you got to get out of that. Did they really mean what they say?
Girl, I'm glad you said that, because let me tell y'all something. I done found me a keeper. And I'll be having to remind myself, like, it's okay, it's real. Like, this is for real. It's not for fake, it's for real. Like, I'll be on the verge of self-sabotaging, really, because it literally does not seem real.
Yes.
Literally hitting almost all of the check marks. People aren't going to be perfect, but literally hitting almost every single check mark. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Amen. Yes. That self-sabotage is real. Very. So that's a key, sis. Y'all who are listening, do not self-sabotage. So how do we know if we're ready to date? Let's talk about that. How well, you're dating right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you know you were ready to jump out in the field, get back in these holy streets?
So I knew I was ready when I could look at a man that I found attractive and not want to backhand him. Like, that's how I knew I was ready. Like, I was seeing attractive. No, really, I was seeing attractive man. Like, oh, he is so fine. I just want to uppercut him because why? Like, ew. Yeah, I was mad at men like for a very long time. I was very upset.
I did not think you were going to say that. I thought you was about to say when you could look at a man and not want a fine man and not want to smash him.
Oh no, smack him. Smack him. No, not smashed.
That is funny, but
yeah,
yes.
I was not. Yeah, I was in a very bad place. And then I also did like a heart posture, a heart check towards myself because I had really low self-esteem coming out of my previous relationship. I was very angry, full of resentment. Now I'm like getting back into dating. I feel as light as a feather. Like I am in my what they call it, my soft girl era, living a soft life.
Living it.
If you're about to disturb that, you will be blocked.
Yes. Amen. In the fast, quick, and in a hurry.
Okay. And I asked the Lord as well, like, Lord, is it okay if I, jump back in there?
Mm-hmm.
The first couple of times I asked, he said no. But now, I mean, obviously I'm dating, so it's okay. But
yeah,
that should have been the first thing I said, asking the Lord.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. Girl, I was so weak. I thought you said that you was gone.
No.
When you knew you couldn't, you didn't want to just smash them automatically. Because that's me.
Not tooted and booted.
Girl, I'm a hot mess. But that's good though. And it's great asking God. Like, yes, please, y'all, ask God before you get back in the field. I'm talking about the field like we finna go to war. But
no, because it really is war. It really is war out here in these streets. my cousin, she Yasmin, the one that we went to go eat crab legs with, she tell me all the time, she be like, you like them holy heathens. She was like, they'll tell you they're a Christian in a minute and then be trying to have sex with you the next. I'll be like, oh God, you right,
Lord, sis. Yes, she absolutely right, because that's what they do. Like
it
that
pastor. It is war. It is war. It's spiritual warfare. Everything is spiritual warfare. Everything.
Yes, it's wild out here. Like that pastor who was like, yeah, I done knocked a couple of them down. What?
Oh, yeah, I forgot
you done knocked a couple down?
He was so confident with it, too.
Let's make it make sense here.
Like he did it recently.
Okay. I had to turn that off. We can be friends. I'll pray for you. Yeah, you know. That's wow. But I agree. Like when I wouldn't say I'm ready. I'm ready to date, but I'm just not dating. Like I really don't. I don't. It just would take a special man for me to make time right now in my day to be texting back and forth and to be on the phone. Like I barely have time to text my friends back right now.
And so on the phone. I don't really
Yeah, like, because then I'd be like, I can't get nothing done. I'm talking on the phone with you. What you talking? You got something to talk about? Or we just gonna be sitting here in silence? Cause I'm doing stuff.
I'm not gonna be sitting here in silence.
But yeah, but I do think when you do all the assessment things that you do as women, we all need to be doing that, assessing ourselves and where we are and asking God, then get in the field when you get that check mark from the Lord, oh, your husband is on the way. Yeah. He's coming. Just get ready. Yeah. And so let's jump into that worldly man, us trying to get a
That
man
holy
saved.
heathen.
Yes. Be like, oh well, he grew up in church, so I mean he know who God is. He just
Right.
doing what he want to do right now.
Right. What's that TikTok? He's a good man. He's just in a bad situation. Have you seen that?
No.
I gotta send it to you. Them jokes be funny.
Yeah. That's wild. So should we as women be even doing that?
No. Mm-mm. If you know, it's one thing for a man to tell you that, he a Christian, and in the first couple of dates or months or whatever, he's acting that way, and then turns out he's a totally different person. But if you go into something knowing that man is not in the church, like y'all are on two totally different ends of the spectrum, and you go into that trying to change him, it's not gonna work.
Right.
I remember my uncle told me it's easier to pull someone down than to lift them up. So you're definitely going to be dragged down. You're definitely going to be dragged down.
That's good. Definitely going to be. It's not a good look, sis.
No, it's
not a good look. Although he may be fine, y'all may have a good time together. But don't do it. Don't even do it.
Yeah,
that's good. But that's my answer. No.
Yeah,
that's my answer too. Is no to not do it, because it's not worth it. It's definitely gonna pull you down. That was my experience too with my last relationship. It definitely pulled me down. Like when I first started dating this man, I asked him, I said, "Do you believe in God? Like, are you saved?" He said, I believe in the universe." And I was like, what? Not the universe.
Yeah.
Girl, now he called himself doing yoga.
Right.
And
his ancestors is talking to him.
Girl, and if you're listening to this, I done told him not to do it. I said, listen, that's demonic. Don't do. I done told him not to do it, even still to this day, to stop doing that mess. But, if you're listening to this, I'm telling you again, dude, stop.
Yes.
Yoga is demonic. Yeah. Yoga is demonic.
Yeah.
But, yes, I agree. The answer is no. Do not do that. Don't even put yourself in that dangerous situation, spiritually dangerous situation.
Yeah.
But yes, let's go ahead and wrap it on up. So what encouragement do you have for the women who are single right now? What words of wisdom do you have to keep them uplifting the spirit? Because sometimes, and even with me, sometimes I feel like, dang, maybe I should be actively or putting myself out there. Because especially when I go to events and I see everybody out with their man and they all booed up, and I'm like, where's mine?
That'd be me.
And so, like, it's tough seeing that and not having your person. That's what I call it, my person. I want my person. That's what I tell the Lord. Lord, I want my person. But what words of encouragement do you have for our sisters who are single and dating and waiting on the Lord in this season?
Okay. My words of encouragement would be, this might sound corny, but really wait. Just, you got to be patient. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be lonely sometimes, but you got to be patient, and you got to get a group of friends where you can just talk to them and be honest with them. Like, hey, y'all, I'm feeling sad about, I don't have a man, or I'm single. Just wait and be patient, and get those girlfriends. Because I don't know how many times I done called NaQuandra crying about something, about being single, about just waiting on the Lord. I feel like He's taking too long. And stay in your word. I read Proverbs 31 all the time. You gotta prepare yourself to be a wife as well. Like, if you're not doing anything to prepare yourself, then why would God send you one of His finest of young men to date you, and you're not even ready? You just gonna mess it up. So, well, I shouldn't say mess it up. No, yeah, you will mess it up. You're self-sabotage. So yeah, you gotta prepare yourself as well. You can't just go into something blind or trying to wing it. You just need to do what God told us to do in the Word.
Yes, that's good. That's good. I'm so glad you brought up that preparing yourself, because sometimes as women we're very prideful and we think we got it all together and we all that in a bag of chips and can't nobody tell us nothing and we don't need no man for nothing. First of all, I need my man.
Okay, period. Build me a vanity, please.
Okay, I need that my husband, like, I'm over that whole I don't need a man for nothing. Like, I was raised on that. Like, my mama told me to make sure I don't need a man for nothing, and that was not a good piece of advice. Like, because that's how I built myself up, and it's false. Like, I need my man. I need him. And so we got to really understand that. For first of all, you need this husband, like that. God created us to be with a man, and so we need him, and to start preparing yourself to receive him. If your house is dirty, you're not ready for no man.
That attitude, you gotta fix your attitude. If somebody can't tell you something without you, you ain't ready.
Yes.
If your man say, Allyson, you need to go sit down and let me handle this, you can't be, well, you know what? I'm gonna go sit down and let you handle it. You right.
Okay. Right. That's a big pill to swallow, because I'll be like,
same.
I would have to take a deep breath. But it's real. Like, we got to be willing to submit to him, and then we get that type of practice in our workplace. We get that in our type of practice. Well, we get that in practice in like leadership and just doing things of how to submit and how to follow.
Yeah, and
which is good.
A lot of people get weary, or they like make this face when they hear the word submission. All submission means means to come under, and then mission. So you're gonna be coming under the mission that God has presented to your husband, not being a doormat. That's all that means.
Yes.
You're just coming under the mission that God, the vision that God has given your husband. Y'all on the same team, y'all working it out, getting it done. That's all that means.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And for facts, because we do get a little like, you better tell me what to do.
And that's not what that means.
Right. We get like that when we hear that word. That's good. Yeah. That is very good. Okay, girl. Well, do you have any other well, I guess my words of encouragement is the same thing. To wait and enjoy being single with God. Like, spend this time getting to know him, girl, and lather in all the space and the time that you have now to do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Because when you get in a relationship, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing without consulting him, right? Like, you're gonna be cooking for more than just you. You're gonna be grocery shopping for more and cleaning after more than enjoy this right now. Like, every time I go to the grocery store, I'm like, dang, I'm so glad I'm single. Every time it's Saturday, every Saturday, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm single, because who knows what this man will be having me do right now, and I don't feel like doing nothing. Right. So yes, enjoy being single with God and in your freedom. I mean, not to say you won't be free when you have a boyfriend or when you're married, but it's a different type of liberty that we have right now as single, saved women.
Yeah. And please don't compromise.
Oh, yes.
As hard as it may seem, because you're like, oh, well, maybe if I do this, then he'll stay. Trust, when you pray and you journal and you ask God for a certain type of man, he will give you that man. You can, no compromising, no, and I'm not saying like don't compromise on the little things. I mean like the big stuff, like no sex before marriage, or things like that. If that's what you want to do, there are men out there who will honor that and who are practicing those things as well. And I know from experience. So don't compromise. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Right. And compromising, you'll lose yourself, and you don't want to do that. Yeah. Then you're going to be back at square one, my good sis. It's not good. Okay. Well, that is the finale of our Saved and Single conversation. As you are listening, if you have comments, questions, drop them in the comment section. And we will answer them. Maybe we will come back and have session 2 and do it live so we can get some live interaction. However, that goes. But I am grateful for you saying yes to coming on here tonight, Allyson. And use this time to tell the people where they can connect with you at and some of the things that you're doing in your ministry that you would like for them to be part of.
Okay, yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram, and that is at Allyson M Ellerbe. So ALLYSON, M as in Mary, ELLERB as in boy E. And then you can connect with me at www.shewholeadsllc.com. Right now, I don't have anything major in the works. I'm revamping my website as it was down for a little bit. So I don't have anything major going on, but you can always, connect with me there, put in your email, get newsletters, and all those good things.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. And that's it. That's it. If you don't have nothing else to say to the people, we can go ahead and close this thing out.
All right. No, I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks, my good sis, for listening tonight. Well, not tonight or today, whenever you're listening to this conversation. I pray that it blessed you. It gave you some insight on how to date as a saved and single woman. If this conversation has blessed you in any way, I encourage you to share this with your friends and family. Don't be stingy. Share the message and let it bless another person. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell on so you can know when there is a new episode. And you go be blessed, and we will talk to you soon.